The Cecred Restoring Hair and Edge Drops are everywhere, and it seems like it's working for everyone. But would it work for you at a hefty price of $56 for 1.7 ounces? And are there any true dupes for this serum? That's what we're gonna find out today, because we'll be breaking down the key ingredients in the Cecred Edge Drops, how they aid in hair growth so you can figure out if they actually can help you. And based off of our key findings and the ingredients, we're gonna see if there's any dupes that you can use. And the reason you can trust me when it comes to hair care advice is because not only am I a beauty product developer and hair scientist, but I'm also a bioengineer, and a lot of brands are adding bioengineered ingredients into their ingredients list, including Cecred. So it's not only K18 and Living Proof adding bioengineered ingredients into their products, but there are so many other brands. And as a bioengineer and hair scientist, we're going to break down all these ingredients and see how they can actually help with hair growth. Now let's break down the ingredients list. There are a lot of ingredients in this formula, including a base because it's a liquid product. There are botanicals, there are stabilizers, there are preservatives, but the thing we're going to focus on in this video is the peptides are going to help with your hair growth. And first we have Acetyl Tetrapeptide-3. Acetyl Tetrapeptide-3 helps anchor your hair to your hair follicle. And it does this by reinforcing something called the extracellular matrix in your hair follicle. Now, the extracellular matrix is a scaffolding or support structure around your hair follicle that basically holds your hair follicle in place. And since the extracellular matrix is supporting your hair follicle, also sends signals to cells to help them grow, regenerate, and develop, which is really important because you want to have a strong and healthy hair follicle. And the way that Acetyl Tetrapeptide-3 helps support your extracellular matrix is that it helps with the production of proteins in the extracellular matrix. And by helping with the production of proteins, it helps strengthen the structures around your hair follicle, which anchors your hair more firmly so you have less shedding, but also increases the diameter size of your hair follicle. And increasing your follicle size and preventing shedding is really important for a hair loss condition called androgenic alopecia. And androgenic alopecia is essentially a form of hair loss that happens when you're sensitive to a certain type of hormone called DHT, or dihydrotestosterone. Because DHT can bind to receptors in your hair follicle that can basically make your hair follicle size smaller. And over time, with a smaller follicle, you're gonna have thinner hair, and thinner hair breaks easily, and the follicle goes smaller and smaller and smaller until eventually follicle becomes dormant and it doesn't produce hair, which is why you can have baldness when you have androgenic alopecia. Acetyl Tetrapeptide-3 is basically trying to counteract the effect that DHT has on your hair. The second really important ingredient in the Cecred Edge Drops is Biotinoyl Tripeptide-1. Now, this peptide is essentially combining biotin, which is vitamin B7, with a peptide that helps with keratin synthesis, so that peptide can help your hair look thicker and feel stronger at your root. It works slightly different than Acetyl Tetrapeptide-3 because instead of enforcing the extracellular matrix, it actually helps with the production of laminin and collagen in your hair follicle. Now, laminin is super important for your hair follicle because it helps your hair follicle with development and function. And it does this by helping the derma papilla with function and formation. The derma papilla is super important for hair growth because it regulates hair growth, because it provides nutrients and basically tells your hair follicle when to grow. And because your derma papilla's job is basically to help with your hair growth, whenever it's damaged, that's when you can have hair loss. Since Biotinoyl Tripeptide-1 helps with laminin production, and your laminin production helps with the derma papilla, which helps with your hair growth, the Biotinoyl Tripeptide-1 is able to help with your hair growth because it's going to help your hair grow stronger and thicker at your root. Now, the third really important ingredient when it comes to the Cecred Edge Drops is actually a group of different types of peptides. Now, this group of peptides are called, and I'm going to look at my notes for this, Nicotiana benthamiana peptides. And it's a list of 5 bioengineered peptides based off of this plant in Australia. And the reason why these are bioengineered peptides is because these peptides can basically mimic growth factors so that your hair can grow. So that if your hair cycle has stopped or your anagen phase, which is your growing phase, is too short, it can actually prolong the growing phase and also reactivate hair growth. And like Biotinoyl Tripeptide-1, it also helps support collagen, which is going to help anchor your hair. Now, since Biotinoyl Tripeptide-1 and these growth factors help with collagen production, this is going to help support your dermis, which is the layer of the skin where your hair follicles basically reside. And with a collagen-rich, strong, stable environment, your hair is going to be able to be anchored. And with anchored hair, you have less shedding. Now, when it comes to products that have some of these peptides that are going to help your hair growth, there isn't necessarily a product that has all of them, but there is certain products that have different types of peptides. And first we have the DPHU apple cider vinegar scalp serum. It has Acetyl Tetrapeptide-3. And this is $49 for 1.7 ounces, and it only has one of the peptides in the Cecred GRO Drops. Next, we have the Ordinary Peptide Serum. Now, this is the serum specifically for your scalp because Ordinary also also has a facial serum. The Ordinary Density Serum has both the Acetyl Tetrapeptide-3 and a Biotinoyl Tripeptide-1 in the formula, which is why everyone always says it's a dupe, because it's 2 ounces for $22, whereas Cecred is $56 for 1.7 ounces. The Away Scalp Serum, which is 2 ounces for $54, also has Acetyl Tetrapeptide-3, but it doesn't have any of the other peptides. The Vegamour GRO Plus Advanced Serum also has Acetyl Tetrapeptide-3 and Biotinoyl Tripeptide-1, but it's 1 ounce for $54, which isn't that great of a cost compared to the Cecred GRO drops or the Ordinary Density Serum. Vegamour GRO Serum has all the growth factors, which are the Nicotiana benthamiana peptides, and this is $64 for 1 ounce of product. The Verb Density Hair Serum does have Biotinoyl Tripeptide-1, and it's $22 for 1 ounce, but I would still say that the Ordinary, even though it's at the same price point, would be the better option. Now, the only serum that had every single one of the growth factors and peptides that the Cecred GRO drops had was the Nécessaire Scalp Serum, and it's $48 for 1 ounce. And even though the Nécessaire serum has all of the peptides and growth factors that the Cecred GRO drops do, it's still not a better price point compared to Cecred or the Ordinary Density Serum. In this video, we went over the key ingredients in the Cecred GRO drops that help with your hair growth, and we searched for dupes for the Cecred GRO drops so that you still have those peptides that can help with your hair growth, but at a more affordable option. And we confirmed that the Ordinary Peptide Serum is the most affordable with the best mix of peptides. Now, this is the first of many videos that I plan to do in a series all about hair growth, and I want to be able to showcase a range of products at different price points so that we can find ways to help with your hair loss. So let me know in the comments what hair loss conditions and products we should go over so that you can help me build out this series. And in the meantime, I recommend you check out the hair growth playlist. As always, I love to learn with you, and I can't wait to see what we do next.